Season 1 of Chapter 7 is coming to a close. My name is Blue, and let's talk about it. For the past 2 chapters, I've noticed Fortnite has been taking more inspiration from real-life locations. Chapter 6 was inspired by Japan, with the Mount Fuji backdrop and feudal Japanese architecture. Now, Chapter 7 is taking heavy inspiration from the west coast of the United States, namely California and Las Vegas. The combination of these real-world locations and Fortnite's charming original creations such as Kappa Kappa Pickle Co. or Wonky Land gives these maps a fun and memorable atmosphere. The POIs this season were pretty solid. Battlewood Boulevard and Sandy Strip easily catch your eye first, with the massive Battlewood sign inspired by Hollywood of course, and with the cute gem-shaped squishy squish inspired by the Las Vegas Sphere. My personal favorite POIs are Wonky Land and Bumpy Bay. Wonky Land is the definition of fun, as well as many unique gameplay features. There's the Ferris wheel that will shoot you into the sky and allows you to rotate quickly. There's also the firing range minigame that can reward some pretty impressive loot. And finally, we can't forget about the silly piano that crushes you for walking on the grass. My other favorite location, Bumpy Bay, is a very detailed and colorful POI that takes inspiration from San Francisco. It features unique architecture, cable cars, and even a pier. Lethal Labs and Classified Canyon are both lore heavy and feature important underground facilities. Lethal Labs has a network of tubes circulating a substantial perimeter. These tunnels can be teleported in between each other for quick map traversal. Classified Canyon has a relatively hidden vault accessed via vertical zip lines. A room may be accessed after hitting a red button, revealing high quality loot as well as a teaser for the old UFO from Chapter 2, Season 8. Ever since Chapter 3 ended, the Fortnite storyline has deviated from the familiar storytelling of Donald Mustard, the previous creative lead of Fortnite. The story of the Seven, Io, the Last Reality, and the 0 Point suddenly disappeared. Live events were sidelined for a while, and it seemed like the story we all knew and loved slipped from us. To Fortnite's credit, I do think the 0 Point storyline may have been exhausted for the time being, and I appreciate them for trying to do something new. It just wasn't what I personally wanted and expected to see from Fortnite. That being said, I'm happy to say that most of the original storyline has actually made a comeback in Chapter 7. We are getting members of the 7 back, the 0 Point back, and a powerful new character from the Last Reality, who bears a ship incredibly reminiscent of the massive one from the Chapter 2 end event. Live events have been back for a while now, but I gotta say, there's been a lot of them in Chapter 7, so I look forward to seeing the direction Epic Games takes going into Season 2 with the storyline. The loot pool for Season 1 has been chaotic, especially in the latter half of the season. Surfing was a new gameplay mechanic that the community seems pretty negative about, to my surprise. I actually love surfing. Too long have we had to deploy from the boring battle bus. I understand that this feature removes the element of choice, but to me, it's worth it for the new gameplay. There is a new HUD this chapter, and I love it too. It is very smooth and satisfying, and makes the old HUD look plain and boring. The new mobility item, the wingsuit, was a very fun and mostly balanced item. I like that it wasn't fast enough to completely avoid gunfire, and emitted a revealing colored contrail. It also had a fair cooldown. I do think there should have been 5 uses instead of 10, as I always felt like I had an abundance of uses. On the contrary, I didn't like the shockwaves as much, and I don't think the community did either. The frustration of people using them to run away from any conflict with no consequences drove me mad sometimes. This, combined with the new drivable reboot van, led to easy comebacks for beaten teams. Next, I especially enjoyed the Winterfest era of the loot pool. I loved chasing the DeLorean every match to get the unique Chapter 1 loot, and it was hard to see them go. The Stick of Truth was a sometimes fun, yet sometimes frustrating mechanic that was easily manipulated due to glitch spots. It created fun moments of overtaking someone's Stick of Truth spot and making it our own, sometimes even winning us the game. The Dark Voyager eventually would fire back at players who shot at him. While I believe this feature should have been implemented at the beginning of the season, it was a very silly addition that led to funny moments and even betrayal. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot about the Rift anomalies. These random events such as Gold Rush and Rift Palooza were very refreshing and spiced up the moment-to-moment gameplay of Battle Royale. Epic also added different shaped storms, but to be honest, they're so inconsequential that they aren't even worth talking about. There are more gameplay features to talk about, but I think we've covered the main ones. Now, I won't be staying on this topic for long because I personally just have so many skins in this game already that I'm a little hard to impress. I really don't care for most of this battle pass at all. Honestly, the gameplay itself was the reward this time around. I found the skins to be boring. The Dark Voyager is cool, but at the end of the day, the idea is recycled. This is the first season in a long time where my friends and I have put a lot of time into the game together. It was inviting for many reasons. The real world inspiration, the vibe, the great POIs, the return of familiar lore, the balance of color and realism in the graphics, and the very fun and refreshing gameplay. It all made for a great, almost perfect season. Honestly, I would give this season an 8 or 9 out of 10, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe. I will see you all in the next video.